Hi everyone, I'm back with another film review, and this one is, as I said last week, Halloween, the 2018 version. And because it's Halloween, the series, you got to be careful what film you're talking about, because this is theoretically the 11th film in the series. Halloween was made in '78. This is 40 years on to the 2018 version. But Rob Zombie made a version in 2007. So, and then you got all the million Michael Myers versions, and even Halloween 3, which Michael Myers isn't even in. So this one, really what it does is it takes the first film from '78 and then essentially ignores, you could say, might include the lore of Halloween 2, but essentially goes as a sequel from Halloween in 1978 to Halloween in 2018. It's a clever idea. Let's do our usual thing. Should you go see it and see it in the cinemas? 2, we'll talk a little bit about it, but we might go straight to spoilers for all that discussion, because it is a horror film and it's pretty easy to give away what's happening. So, should you go see it? I would say, unless you're a huge Halloween fan, do not see this film. Certainly don't see it in the cinema. There's nothing about being in the cinema for this film, really, unless it's Halloween night, not worth it. I actually even think you could give it a miss, but if you're keen and have watched other horror films, maybe wait for it's on TV or cable. I'll come back and I'll explain why. Okay, so why am I so down on this film? I watched, in preparation for this review, the 1978 version, John Carpenter, one of my favorite directors of all time. And that film, I let my 13-year-old watch it. And he was like, why is everyone talking about Halloween? Because it's really a thriller. John Carpenter made this film for like $1.50. It's, most of the time it's just a point of view of Michael Myers just walking through suburban streets with a cast of unknowns, including the debut of Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode. So at that film, 5 people die. It's really just an insight into, what is happening in suburbia at the time. And it's just really cleverly directed. So then we go 40 years on, and now we've got Halloween 2018, directed by David Gordon Green. Now, David Gordon Green, not a well-known name, but he does a ton of work, and he does a lot of these really comedies like Pineapple Express, stuff like that. I really don't like his work at all. I don't find him funny, and I find the worst thing that I could say about a director is he is unsubtle. So he's also teamed up with Danny McBride, who I do like, and I think the best bits in the movie probably are these little comedic interludes which seem to have his fingerprints on it, and they're quite funny. The cast is pretty good, actually. So, of course, you've got Jamie Lee Curtis returning 40 years on as Laurie Strode, the infamous final girl, and then you have Judy Greer as her daughter, Will Patton as like the sheriff. That's about it. Everyone else is kind of forgettable. So the interesting thing about this film is someone has sat down and gone, how can we make this film interesting? Why don't we make a slasher film in which the person is totally prepared? A bit like a Terminator 2 scenario. So we know, Sarah Connor knows what's happening. She just spends all her time getting skills, setting up, all that. So that's a really interesting idea, and they had the budget and they had the acting talent to bring that about. So unfortunately what they've done is they've kind of, someone has sat down and gone, well, these are the 6 things we want to say. And they might be, well, we want a twist here, and we want to do this, and we want to make, Laurie Strode totally prepared, and she's actually more dangerous than Michael Myers, and all these kinds of things. And so all the ideas are clever. As they unfurl, you go, yeah, okay, that's not. And there's some interesting stuff at the beginning to set it up. But what the problem is once they had their 6 points, they went, how are we going to link this? And so they clunkily stitched together this Frankenstein plot, which just lurches together. You know, the worst thing I can ever say about a horror film is it is boring. Because you know what's going to happen. I picked every single thing which happened. There's some big twists, totally predictable. I just found this really bad, really boring, didn't care. And we're in spoilers. The ending is just ridiculously stupid. If that was Laurie Strode's 40-year plan to kill Michael Myers, to somehow get him into the basement, to fill your house with mannequins when you know you might be fighting Michael Myers, to only take a revolver when you got 38 guns there, like, take something with some stopping power, put him down and then 3 in the head. Like, it was just beggars belief. And then to burn, like, so the end of the film is she destroys her house. You could have, if you've set everything up with gas, put in toxic gas. Just kill him. Don't burn a house. And then you hear him breathing over the it's just insultingly stupid. It's made a lot of money. I think a lot of people have grown up with that Halloween idea. They like that Michael Myers is just this force. He's not really human at this point. It's kind of a bit ridiculous how he can just be shot and whatever. This is just a really bad film. There are so many great horror films. Don't watch this. Go watch Get Out, Hereditary, The Witch, proper films with real build-up of character and identity and surround, atmosphere. Give this a miss. Okay, I'll be back soon with other films. If you like what I'm doing, press like, subscribe, hit the button, the bell, so you know when I'm doing new stuff. And I'm on Twitter @Guru Eden. I'll talk to you then. Bye.